Welcome to Is It ADHD or Life? A couple's perspective, where we unravel what it's like to live with ADHD within a relationship. And this week we're asking the question, is it ADHD or just life? And we're joined by a very, very special guest, David Richmond, who is the creator of Neuro Dads Diary, looking at neurodivergent parenting unfiltered. Hi, David, how are you?
I'm not bad. How are you?
Really, really good. Thank you.
Good, thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us today. Can't wait to kind of unravel everything and get to the core of everything. Let's start then by you telling us your journey of how kind of you got to your ADHD, like where you are today.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Yeah, no problem at all. So from me, my journey started a little bit like with panic in COVID, like most of us. I think we were all like sectioned off the world. I didn't know what it was going to be like for us all. My mum was terminal as well, so it was a little bit like, oh, right, how's this going to pan out through such a difficult time? And also before that, I'd had like doing some things through work for like awareness sessions to work out more about how to support people with disabilities and mental health. And that's when I came across a session for autism where somebody was talking to me, and at the end of the session she says, when were you diagnosed? And I was a bit like, oh. I just thought I had mental health. I've always just thought I was an anxious person, never thought it was anything more than that. And so that's when the cog started for me then, started to think, well, actually, is it the ADHD that's causing the anxiety, or is it the anxiety that's influencing and making the ADHD kind of or autistic traits? Which way around is it? And then obviously lockdown happened, so I was stuck with those thoughts for a full 2 years whilst we were trying to sort it out.
Long time.
Yeah, so I had therapy through it and trying to get through each day and kind of cope, and it became a bit of a snowball really. Where I kept mentioning it on these therapy calls, kept saying, well, it could be this, and they were like, well, yeah, but we can't do any of that during lockdown. And I was a bit like, I'm sure you probably could, but they just didn't entertain it whatsoever.
So bad, isn't it? So bad.
Just won't have it. Yeah, and then after COVID, I said I'll start exploring it, but then we have our children and times fly on, and it took me a whole year actually to fill out the paperwork in the end.
Of course.
So, because what more highlights the fact that I've got ADHD than filling out
That's not ADHD, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, so eventually I got...
we spoke about that.
Eventually I got the GP just said, if you're struggling to fill out all the paperwork, how about you just go outside and do a tick box? Can you fill out these tick boxes and to show that you meet the criteria? And I was like, well, if I can just do a tick box, then that's easier than writing War and Peace that I have been doing for you. So so I just sat out in the waiting room, did the tick box, and then she put me through Right to Choose. So yeah, I got through with clinical partners, went through that kind of pathway. But I only got diagnosed. I had the assessment in January this year and got formally diagnosed in March. So it's still relatively early journey for me in the whole process.
And are you now on medication for it? Did you take the medication? Did you go through titration?
Still on that waiting list, would you believe? Titration, they told me it's another 12 to 18 months.
So let's get straight into then the Neuro Dads Diary. I am obsessed with looking at your Instagram posts. Absolutely love them. Where did the idea come from? What made you start that?
So I was walking around the hospital while we'd had our second child at night, trying to piece everything together, like the madness of it all. So we've now got two. Why am I going to cope with this? I said I'd had my assessment in January. We had our son in February. So I was still waiting for all these kind of results to come back if I was diagnosed formally or not. So in that time, I was just walking around the hospital trying to think, well, how am I going to process this? What things I need to think about? And I'd started looking at like online and like support groups and things like that. And I just thought, actually, I think it's probably that I need to focus on sharing me and understanding me. It's my journey. I need to understand who I am as a person. You look at life in a completely different lens. I know everybody says it all the time. You look in a different field, but you do look at. So I thought, right, I'm gonna probably just start putting my thoughts out there and seeing what other people are doing, or get some feedback. And am I on the right path, or is other people doing it a different way, or whatever? And that's how I initially started. It's more like a little scrapbook, basically, a survival sketch pad to try and get myself into it, to try and get it out. And because it is, again, a thing in therapy was talked about was journaling and trying to get those thoughts out, not keep piling them on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
Eventually, just getting that out will help you then start to process it. So I'd write things in notes on my phone or on just quick little drawings and stuff to get it out of my head. And then that's how it then started, really. I just started building slowly but surely. Didn't tell the wife. And eventually she said, "Oh, there's this really good page for you. I think you should start following it." I was like, "Ah, well, I hate to tell you it's me."
No way.
I love that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Love that.
She had literally no idea because I was keeping everything so like I said at the beginning, it was more like the seer of neurodiversity. I was trying not to show my face or make anything relate to the kids. So yeah, she had no idea it was me.
Oh, that's
Brilliant.
so good. I absolutely love that.
Yeah. And when you mentioned then about like journaling, that's exactly like how the account came across to me. It was almost like your journal of like everyday life to life, kind of what you not even like giving out advice as such, but just like trying to be relatable to people on the outside or people who may be going through the same thing. And I think that's how it came across to me. And I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Adam could do with reading this. So you've got 2 children.
Yeah.
How old are they?
So we've got a 3-year-old daughter, and then we've got a 9-month-old son to keep me.
Wow. We've got a 2-year-old son, haven't we? And yeah. Oh gosh, yeah. Life is just, it's night times for us, isn't it? At the minute, it's just like the sleep thing.
Yeah.
How do you think then that your the neurodivergency has affected the way that you parent?
Oh, it's life's biggest question, isn't it, that one? I've always just tried to be. I know it's really cliche. I'm going to say it sounds like they're trying to be the best, but like I've always tried to be the best because I didn't have a great upbringing.
Yeah.
My dad wasn't around when I was young, so for me it's always like, well, I didn't have him, so how can I do the opposite, basically, to that guy? So I always try and do it, try and live as much as possible with my emotions, try and show them rather than keep them bottled, let them know if I'm not feeling right. So the kids do see me in the messy times as well as the high times. I don't like to shy away from it. But yeah, it's made me definitely a different dad. Because when I speak to the rest of my mates, they're definitely completely different to how I work with it. But I have to just try to work with the difficulties of me and the kids as well.
It sounds very much like our house because you don't hide anything either, do you?
No.
And like if you're having a down moment, we all know, don't we?
Yeah.
No, not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. But I think sometimes that kind of helps you to manage it because we can see what's going on and you don't have to mask it kind of thing as much.
With the older two, it's helped that they know everything, they understand it a bit, and especially with my son because he's been diagnosed.
Yeah.
But I think talking about it really helps, and making it part of the house has been good.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, there's no point shying away from it.
Especially like with Cameron, if he's like Adam's 11-year-old, if you shy away from it, he's going to think, oh, I've got to hide it as well, isn't you? And it's not, you don't want to do that, do you?
No, definitely.
Going back to Neuro Dads Diary then, can you remember your first post that you put out and how you felt when you put it out, and was you nervous?
It's funny enough because I've been doing a lot of reflection at the end of the year, going back and seeing what I wrote at the start and how it's evolved and things. And yeah, I looked at it earlier, and it's actually just the first one says, "And here we go." Like that's just here's the start, and then it's just got a little bit of explanation of
Nice.
what we do, and that's it, and what to expect, and that's been it. It was just a simple. I'm going off on this path. You'll find out what happens, and we'll roll with it. But I look back now, and I was trying to make it so slick. I was trying to make sure that all the colours were uniform throughout the whole tiles. I tried to make it look really like cohesive. And now I just think, what am I doing? Just get it out. Why am I trying so hard?
Yes, absolutely.
It's almost like starting a podcast and hiring a studio and getting the branding sorted.
And you know what you'll find is that people are more likely to kind of resonate with you if it's just put out there and not like made perfect, and not, you know, people aren't bothered, are they, about whether something's colourful or do you know what I mean? They just want the truth. And I think that's what I enjoy about some of your posts, especially when you talk about the ones that really got to me was the nighttime ones. There was one where you said you were rocking, I think it was your baby in one arm, and then you've got the other baby's sleeping, and you're thinking, right, okay, this is where my thoughts come into my head now because it's nice and quiet. And yeah, just honestly, just like that could have been our life.
Oh no. Oh.
It's like a different shift for me. That's what I put it as. Like I clock off from the day shift and I start doing the night shift, and then that's when my brain is clearer because I haven't got anything else fogged. Like I haven't got the kids to think about. I haven't got work to think about. I've not got cooking or prepping anything to do. I'm just on with whatever my mind's coming up with, and that's when I normally write my ideas down. Because if I write it down, or I don't write it down, there's no way on earth I'll remember that day after. No way on earth. People always
Adam tried to have a little diary at the side of your bed, didn't you?
Excuse me.
Well, people say that all the time. They're like, just do it in the morning.
That doesn't work for me.
Yeah, they say do it in the morning, you'll be all right, you'll remember it. I'm like, never remember it. Never. Like, what's the point?
Absolutely not. Some of my best ideas are at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, 100%. Oh, he fell out. So looking at the Instagram, some of the topics and the themes that I kind of picked up on that you focus on, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but like ADHD and fatherhood, kind of like parenting struggles and wins, supporting from the kid, like the kid style, and executive like dysfunction in daily life as well. Which of them do you think really kind of is your standout kind of posts, and which resonates more with people, do you think?
I'd say it's a bit more about community as well. There's a little bit more there about what we're doing with trying to understand what's going on in the local community in terms of safe spaces, spaces you feel comfortable, sensory. There's a bit of that in there as well. But I think most people resonate with me sharing about how I deal with it, and it is the executive dysfunction really with me. I think that they really sit with how I struggle with time blindness, so I struggle with organising my even day-to-day life. I really do sometimes lean far on my wife, and when we first started chatting, I talked about AI. If not for AI, I don't think I'd be able to function anymore.
Oh, honestly, I feel like I'm talking to Adam. You are twins at the minute. Yeah. So, Adam, you're big on AI at the minute, aren't you?
Much so,
especially helping like with the business and stuff, aren't you? Because it just takes a lot of pressure off you.
Although we've spoke before, and David took it a step further.
Oh yeah,
and gave me a fantastic idea about dinner.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Uses AI to make dinner.
I do.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. I'll say to it, right, I've got this in the cupboard. What can I make with this? Especially when the kids all say like, oh, I don't want this, I don't want that. And I'm like, right, well, we've got rice, we've got some some peppers, we've got this, but what can I make into a meal? And then it just tells me, and I go, like, if I have to box it up and get the odd bit, it's fine, but rest of the time, I can just bobble along. And my wife will go, that was a really nutritious meal for them. And I'm like, hey, I did it, not me. Not to do with me.
I'll tell you something, it's scary. It's scary.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
I'm dead interesting because obviously our podcast focuses on, so I call myself neuronormal, but and so we focus on kind of how we live day to day, kind of with Adam with his ADHD and me without ADHD, and how we approach things differently, and how I've had to kind of, I say I'm Adam like needs his own manual sometimes. I've had to learn that manual. Talk to me then about, if you don't mind, about your wife. So how has she kind of dealt with your diagnosis, and how does she deal with, like, when you're parenting? What's the dynamic like?
She basically runs our house. She is like the crux of our house. She does
Amen,
she
sister.
gets all the cooking sorted. She gets all the shopping sorted. She sorts our finances out. She tells me just what money I have to move around when. I just set direct debits up and that's it. Done. I don't have to deal with it. When we went on a honeymoon, she books the whole thing. I am useless. Is the end, be all and end all. I struggle to do the basic
She's basically
things.
like an angel from God. Is what she sounds like.
Oh,
I love her already.
She's brilliant. Honestly, she's brilliant, and she's good with her kids. And she tells me if I'm doing something like if I'm going too far. She'll say, "Look, Mike, come on, calm down." And I always get this from her. She'll say, "You're the adult, they're the kid." And but sometimes I feel like I'm one of the kids that she looks after.
Oh my God. Honestly, this is parallel to our household. Everything you're saying is just us. Absolutely.
100%.
Do you think she's had to change the way she thinks when she's, I don't want to say like dealing with you, that's a horrible thing to say, but do you know what I mean? Like, has she had to change the way she thinks? No, but because I've had to change a lot of the way I think when Adam does stuff, because I've got to understand him a little bit more. Do you think that she's kind of had to go down the same path?
If anything, I think my wife started to realise there's probably her own support needs and started to think, actually, I might be neurodiverse. So, yeah, she's going down the pathway as well, to be fair.
So talk to me then, how the community has grown. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I think a lot of the time she thought things were like postpartum or like after birth kind of struggles. But now I think she's starting to realise it's the dysregulation, it's the fact that we've got no kind of routine, stability with the kids. And I think she's starting to think the same, like, actually, the lack of stability has created an unease in her that actually could be neurodiversity. That needs to be explored. So yeah, again, another long way, way on a referral list for her. Again,
community. Then, how do you think the community has grown on the page? What do you do to kind of to grow it as well? Because obviously we've been going 12 months, but we're still relatively new and stuff. So like, how do you grow the community on your page?
I keep on messaging people, keep reaching out, keep chatting to people, going on other people's pages and commenting and seeing if people are up for collaborations and sharing best practice. But what I have done this year is I put myself out to be a sunflower friend as part of the Hidden Disabilities scheme.
Oh, I seen that. Yeah, I seen that actually. Yeah, and what does that kind of entail?
So we share about the lanyard. We tell about its mission. We talk about how people use it in the community. And say I'm aware of one. So I said I've had mixed bag with how I felt about mine. That sometimes I'd have a confidence to wear it. Sometimes I don't want to be seen. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I want to kind of hide back in the shadows a little bit.
Yeah.
So, but for me now, I'm thinking it's actually so beneficial for people who are. You can wear the actual supporter one. You don't have to be wearing it for yourself. If you want to be a support of somebody else, you can wear it.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm now focusing on, is the best use of that feature and how we spread it across our community, and what more we can do with it, really, at local levels. I think sometimes you don't know where
Yeah.
it is, who represents it, where you can get a lanyard from. It's a bit of a minefield for some people, isn't it? So I know when I only found it once. Somebody were giving away free, and that's the only reason I got one. I didn't know how to get them sent.
No way.
So yeah, and I've asked if I can do some like mystery shopping on people that are sunflowers signed up to the scheme, so I can work out that if they're doing it right, things like that. So
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, and that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
What's something you've learned then from the community? Kind of like when you started Neuro Dads Diary. What's something you've learned now?
The community is much stronger than I ever thought. Like, I thought they were such a good bunch of people. When I first started, everybody was so open, so chatty, so helpful. And now the more I go into it and the more kind of difficulties I might show, the more that people will actually reach out to me personally and say, are you all right? Do you need anything? Can I point you in the direction of any support? And that is like a lifeline for some people who social media is what they need and what they use it for. It's the best community I know. I'll tell you that for a fact.
That is brilliant.
Yeah. It's funny because when we started the podcast, we didn't know kind of how it was going to be received, and probably much like yourself, the messages that you get from people who are like, "Oh, I've seen your post or I've seen your podcast, and I relate to X, Y, Z, and then I've got the courage to do this," and it kind of just makes a difference, doesn't it? You feel like actually what we're doing is working, and you must feel exactly the same.
Definitely. Like the example I used this morning is I'd ages ago wrote a post in September, not actually posted it out because typically forgot about it. Saw somebody else this morning had linked in with that person, and somebody else had shared about it. It's a documentary called The Racing Mind. I don't know if you've seen it on Amazon Prime.
No, but that's on the list now.
So yeah, I watched it. And I then obviously wrote this post and wanted to make sure that they were happy for me to put it out before I commented. And this morning, I saw somebody else had shared it, and I thought, right, well, I better reach out now, otherwise I'll forget again. And I got a voice note back, and I did not expect to get a voice note back. I just expected to get like a message back saying contact our press team or whatever. But I got a voice note saying, yeah, absolutely keen on it. Send me the post. Let me know what you want to say. And that, where else would you get that? You won't get that.
No, that's amazing.
That's amazing. Yeah. What's the vision going forward then? What do you want to what does the future like for Neuro Dads Diary?
This is where I have thought, and this is where I probably hit the burnout last time because I was thinking so much about it. I would want to do a lot more like printable guides, kind of like sensory resources, kind of community spotlights, to get that conversation going a lot more. I'd love to do something face to face with people, even if we're doing it like virtually for a start, and then see if we can get people meeting up. But I'd love to do a little bit more like out of the norm kind of stuff where, I don't know about you, Adam, but it's practical for me. Like, I am a practical person first.
Yeah.
I don't like to just theorise about stuff all the time. I want to go out and do stuff. So I think that's what I want to try and do, is get dads together, sitting there chatting about doing something practical, and they can offload about while they're doing it. Community gardening is a big thing for me. I've always been into community gardening. So something like that where I might be able to tap into.
I love that.
Yeah.
Remember, I was going to get an allotment.
Oh, Adam went on and on about getting an allotment for about 6 months. Never happened, obviously.
No, but I got one in the end. I managed to get one. So.
Oh, that's it now. The allotment thing will be back on.
Your wife is an angel.
Nice. Quick question then. So we obviously asked the question, is it ADHD or life? So is it ADHD or life? What's one moment this week that made you wonder, is it ADHD or is it life?
So the key one for me is, the velvetizers, these hotel chocolate velvetizers.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So,
I don't think you do you?
I've got it out. I've started making hot chocolate for the kids. I've then put down the lid, and I can't find the lid. I'm furious. I'm stressed out with my eyeballs where it is. Everybody in the house is going, like, it's just a lid. And I was like, yeah, but I can't turn the thing on to mix the velvetizer. I can't do it. Where is it? I'm going, absolutely here, where this lid is. In the end, I just make it somewhere else. Think, forget it. I'll come back to it. Later at night, I'm still thinking, where is this lid? And it's sat on one of the hobs. I've thought that's the hob, and it's the lid. It's been there all that time.
No.
Me going absolutely mad with everyone.
Blaming everyone else probably for taking it, or one of the kids for stealing it and hiding it somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. All that. Yeah, I was like, how can I be this? How can I be this stupid? What have I done with it? I had it in my hand a second ago. Where's it going?
We had a very, very, very similar situation. Just before we went to watch the Hot Pots, actually, Adam couldn't find his car keys.
No.
And literally everyone's searching the house. Adam even went back out to the car. The car was unlocked. So then he's like, it's not a coincidence, it's unlocked. They must be in the car. He said, spent 5 minutes searching the car, found them, dropped down the back of a table. But yeah, but everybody else's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's standard practice. That it's never us to blame. Like,
yeah. Never. Mm-mm. Okay, to finish off then, we have a section in our podcast called The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. And I asked, would you be able to provide kind of a good, a bad and an ugly about ADHD? You can do it and parenting as well if you want to. So do you have any good, bad or uglies that you could give us?
So my good is to actually use your time wisely. So for me, I know that I'm more productive in the evening. So if I have to stay up till stupid o'clock doing stuff in the night, I will stay up doing stuff in the night. I do the dishwashing, the washing machine. Like, that's when I'm productive. So don't go against where you're productive. Like, if you can do it and it fits your lifestyle, do it. Like, don't struggle. Don't fight against it.
Yeah.
The amount of times that I'll say with work, they'll say, well, that's not a flexible work-life balance. We don't expect you to do that. And I'm like, but it works for me. So I'll do it when it works for me.
This is it, yeah. Absolutely.
That's something I've only learned very recently, and I've learned that I can work between in the morning till about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then just crash. So I know those couple of hours are
so important, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, just the amount of times that people won't want to be flexible with us because they think, well, that's not cohesive to business structures, or it doesn't support the wider structure. Why? Like, if I'm happy to work at that time in the morning and it doesn't affect anybody else, it's not causing any harm to anybody else, I'm still productive during the day, but I know that I'm not good at anything. I know that'll be a waste of time in the afternoon. Don't book in a big, deep, thoughtful meeting for me in the afternoon because I won't be able to engage properly.
Adam's not got that problem.
No. I'll be so focused on what I'm doing that I'll forget to have something to eat. and it'll get till middle afternoon, and then I'll think, oh, I need to go at loo, I need to get up and do something, and then I feel so weak that I have to just eat dopamine, kind of eat loads of stuff to just try and get myself back onto an even keel. So it's bad because I could really do forget that structure of my day. If my wife's not around to tell me it's lunchtime, I'll just crack on. And the ugly is I often feel a guilt or a shame, I think, sometimes for the way I feel about stuff. I think we all don't know how to sometimes process it, sometimes how to deal with it, and I always feel like I've either done something wrong or I'm to blame. And this week, which I've kind of referenced in some recent stories, that I've had two things happen in the last week. I had a car incident that involved the insurers, and I received a letter from HMRC to say that I'd forgotten to fill out a self-assessment over 6 months ago.
Yeah, so you had the problem with the car accident.
Yeah. So car, it needed insurers, so I needed the insurers to look at that. So we're still in looking at all that. And the other thing was I received a letter from HMRC to say that I owed a penalty for not filing a self-assessment for my mum who passed away.
You mentioned that the ugly was because the guilt that you feel because you think it's your fault that these things have happened and stuff, and that just kind of like weighs on you then, doesn't it?
Definitely. Like this weekend, I've sent all the information over to the insurers, and I'm still like now in a limbo, just like wanting to know what's the next steps, what can I do to help it, what can I do to move it on. I've already influenced like how the kids get in and out of the car because the car needs a repair. So I feel guilty that I'm making it more problematic for the family for my little error. And for the HMRC thing, it was one of those where I've filled the paperwork out, I've done it, I sent it late. Of course I sent it late. I didn't understand it half the time. I didn't know what it was. So I'd have to use AI to tell me what that was. Like, what is it? Like, what information do I need to fill out?
Obviously.
And then when I eventually got it back, they said that it was there and I had a penalty. And then I appealed, but I didn't follow up on the appeal. Didn't know that I'd not got an appeal, that it had not been sorted out. And 6 months down the line, they've chased me to find out why I've not got the appeal back. So I'm now more drama, more chasing up for the sake of me out of sight, out of mind. It's gone.
Yeah.
And you, that's parallel to like you as well, isn't it? It's exactly
that's
the same.
happened to me before. The exact same. Well, not the exact. That was a personal thing with the HMRC. What I have found is that certainly at the time, I explained everything to them in an email, and they were actually really good at sorting everything out, and it was all right. So,
but it took a lot for you to send that email and stuff, didn't it?
I waited until the piles of letters were that high, and then I thought I should probably deal with this.
Yeah.
For me, I wanted to speak to somebody. I just didn't want to send another email because it had failed the first time. So I was wanting to chat to somebody, but I couldn't get through the automation. The automation didn't understand my accent, or it didn't understand what I was asking it to do. Oh, it didn't. It was just annoying. It was dead annoying. And I just wanted to speak to somebody, and I eventually got through to somebody, and she was like, it's fine, don't worry, it's all resolved. So I got it resolved, but it's one of those things that just sits on your head, doesn't it?
100%, yes. Brilliant. It's been absolutely lovely to chat to you, even with our little sound issues. But it's been absolutely brilliant to chat to you. And everyone needs to get onto Neuro Dads Diary on Instagram, give you a follow, and build that community up even more.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
we will absolutely be having a look at them posts, and especially the one about the ADHD assessments going forward. Yeah. But amazing. It's been really lovely to chat to you, David. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
No, thanks for having me, and thanks for dealing with my obviously poor connection.
That's okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.